Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Finks.
We're back, man. Episode 221.
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into it. Recently, I guess I don't know why it's front page of news, but Michael B. Jordan and his girlfriend Lori Harvey split up, and I guess it sent shockwaves through Hollywood because that's what's important to them apparently. But yeah, I don't know either one of them. So I'm not gonna make any personal statements. I don't know them, but I'll talk around it. Basically, what I see is this: Lori is 25, and fucking Michael B is damn near my age. He's 35, and you might potentially have two people living in different phases of their life, right? Mm-hmm. And Lori is fine as hell, but Lori doesn't need resources from another man, right? Like, for Christ's sake, her fucking dad is Steve Harvey. So I think with her, what's going on is she may be in a very explorative, state where she's experiencing these men and using them for experiences, not using them for resources, but for experiences. Like, she literally was with P. Diddy and his son. A woman that would do some shit like that is exploring. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to call her a hoe because hoes fuck everybody. She's fucking all the niggas she wants to fuck.
Yeah.
So that's what makes this a lot different. And Michael B is in his late 30s. So I would assume maybe a guy like that probably wants something serious. And he might have chose the wrong woman, not because she's no good or she's a bad person. She's just not probably in a time in her life where she's ready to do that. Mm-hmm. And sometimes women don't admit this shit, but sometimes women get a dude that's good, that's ready to marry them and settle down, and they get cold feet and run the fuck off. Mm-hmm. Because they was like, I just thought I was having a good time. This is too much. I got to get out of here. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
You know, and they run right back to the streets.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes some women got to be in the streets. And by the way, like I said, once again, I'm not calling Lori Harvey a hoe. I don't know her like that. But what I will say is a woman like that ultimately can become a great wife. And some people will say, like, how, bro? She's fucking everybody. How can she be a great wife? Because most people that go through these phases or hoe phases or whatever you want to call them, once they get into something serious, they're not going to jeopardize that. They know what's out there.
Yeah.
You're better off having a woman that has these experiences. The deal breaker for me is her fucking with Diddy and his son. Like, that to me, that's a character issue.
I don't know if I could, like, if I'm a celebrity, I don't know if I can date anybody that's dated Diddy personally. But Diddy got a laundry list of women he done smack down.
Oh, yeah. He got J-Lo, bro.
Yeah, J-Lo. That's just like, that's old. That's years ago, though.
Yeah.
He done added more notches to his belt.
Right.
You know, these days.
Yeah, Cassie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, J-Lo, bro. That's crazy. He probably was eating ass before it was popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, take that. Yeah. Ain't nobody gonna take my pride. Mm-hmm. How that song go again?
Can't nobody hold me down.
Can't nobody hold me down. Oh no, I got to eat J-Lo's booty.
Yeah, I think what you're right about Lori Harvey. She's young. She's, like you said, she's 25 years old.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, the word hoe is like, it's a little
dated.
It's a little dated, right? Because, you know, when we think about hoes, and, you know, this is just a younger version of myself when you think about a woman that sleeps with a lot of men. I think that maybe I wouldn't use the word hoe, or if I would use the word hoe, it would be non-gender specific, right?
Yeah,
because a guy that sleeps around, I think, is equally is a hoe as well.
Whore the Explorer. Look, it's a dick. D-I-C-K.
That's about that one.
Say it louder. Dick. That's how Dora be doing it.
Yeah.
And then she'll say something in Spanish.
Yeah.
Espagado. Go ahead, man.
But yeah, I think that she's just young, and the thing about her is like she's a celebrity.
Yeah.
So the same person in your hometown is doing the same thing that has X amount of relationships with dudes in your hometown. It's no different than what she's doing.
Exactly.
She's just doing it on a bigger scale.
Exactly.
I will say though, she seems to be like the catch.
Yeah.
She seems to be the person that people are happy to be in a relationship with, because from at least from the pictures, like whatever she doing, like niggas be loving her.
Oh yeah.
And Michael B. Jordan got her all on the gram.
Yep.
And,
Future even was
like
showing her off.
Yeah, looking like a power couple.
Yeah.
People bringing her to red carpets and stuff like that. Yeah, people rapping about her in songs. So
Yeah.
it's she doing something right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think like, that idea of being a hoe, I don't think she's a hoe. I just think she's a person that she probably just get what she want. And I think it kind of sucks, just me thinking about it from a man's perspective. And who knows what the actual breakup, the reason for the breakup, and we may never actually get that story. But in terms of like a person that we have never seen Michael B. Jordan be publicly affectionate with any woman. You know what I mean? So I think that for him having her like as his real, real partner, and, putting her all on Instagram.
Wasn't he dating Snow Allegra though?
No.
He went with Snow Allegra? I thought he was.
I don't know. Maybe like a behind the scenes thing, but he's never posted no girl on his Instagram, is what I'm saying. So for him to do that, for Lori Harvey to be the only girl that has really ever seen the light of day, I'm sure that meant something to him. Like he was trying to really build something, right? Really trying to, potentially spend the rest of his life with her. And, so it didn't work out, and it's kind of unfortunate. And if that is the case to where he was ready to, start a family and all these different things, and she was not really, in a time and space in her life where she wanted to do that. It's just kind of unfortunate for the guy, I could imagine how that feels for him.
I feel like Lori is the female version of a player. Mm-hmm. That's what I take from her. And she, like I mentioned, she doesn't need these guys' resources, but she's suffering from J-Lo syndrome. I feel like she gets bored of men. I really think she gets bored of men, and she is the prize in each relationship she gets in. She even had Future showing her off.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I want you to take a picture with me. I want you to get in the mirror real quick. Take a picture with me. Future Hendrix. So if fucking Future is showing off Lori Harvey, that means something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's the sex or if it's just her aura, right? But she fine as fuck too. She's super fine. She get any dude she wants.
Yeah.
And the women that normally deal with these type of men will be begging to get kept. Mm-hmm. But she's leaving these niggas.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like Diddy, all of them. She's not begging them to stay. She's out the door. And you look at Michael B. Jordan, they got like these memes of him being sad or whatever. First of all, that's not funny. If he's really like sad, what's funny about a man being sad?
Nothing.
Like nobody takes us serious. Like they want to have memes about us when we cry and shit or we feeling sad. So that's not right. But I don't know Lori, but I could just assume that she just right off living her best life again. She don't strike me as the type that's like stressed out and sad all day. She strike me as a type that's looking for the next nigga.
You gonna feel some type of emotions.
Yeah.
No matter if you hiding it or not,
I'm not saying she hiding it. I'm just saying that she probably numb to it. A woman that will do the things she's doing, I don't see it kind of implies to me that I fuck Diddy and his son if I want to. I'll go over here and do this. I'll be with this person.
Yeah.
She was with Trey Songz. She was with all these different dudes. And it's just because she wanted to experience it.
Yeah.
She ain't got Drake yet.
Nope.
That's probably going to be the next one. She's going to try to get Drake.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I think probably a more realistic one is Jack Harlow. She probably going to get Jack next. Mm-hmm. So who knows, man? Will it be you?
Yeah. I don't know. I think that you know, and I don't know, she's not a public figure really. Like she's not really.
You don't have to be when you're pretty.
That's not what I'm saying. Let me finish my point. I'm saying that she is like she is she has to be feeling the breakup is what I'm saying. But we will never really know because she's not really on the scene like that. Like, you know, the only time we really see or hear, we don't even hear from her. People don't even know what her voice sounds like. But we just see her on Instagram. And, you know, Instagram is always going to be put together.
Yeah.
So, who knows what that grieving process looks like. But
yeah, you never know. But what I'm saying is you don't have to be a public figure when you're pretty. You just get popularity from being hot. So she's Steve Harvey's daughter, and she's hot. Public figure automatically. That's how the internet works.
Yeah.
Like if you, okay, you know the stuff we're saying right now? Replace us with two extremely hot chicks, and that changes the whole fucking platform.
Yeah.
You get two hot chicks with big titties saying the same exact shit, and their numbers is way higher because they got something to look at. That's just how things work. So with her, I'm trying to figure out what has she done significant in the world to change anything. The answer is fucking nothing. She's done nothing to change anything. She doesn't run some huge freaking charity, or we don't know. She's just Lori Harvey. She literally gets by on being Lori Harvey.
Yeah, that's just the name of the game. Like, you know, you got a last name like Harvey. It's, you know, you're gonna be able to put yourself in position to do a lot of stuff. Yo,
the funniest shit. I think somebody brought it up. I think Charlamagne talked about it, about a meme, and it said like Michael B. Jordan shaved his mustache like Steve Harvey to get Lori back.
Oh yeah, I seen that. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, fellas, any guy in his mid-30s, when you're dealing with a chick that's young and you know of her past, I'm not saying to judge her for her past, but don't ignore it. Don't ignore it because you're a man in your mid to late 30s and you want something serious. Look at her and look at how she behaves and what she does. Not to judge her, but if you want to have fun, maybe go on some trips or just have really good sex, that's what Lori is good for. Lori is here for a good time, not a long time. Okay? 25 years old. Do you think the average woman, especially in today's world, is willing to give up everything at 22?
I feel like, honestly,
25?
like those habits never really die.
Really?
Like when I hear Kim Kardashian say like she just hit up Pete Davidson because she wanted to get smashed, it's like,
wow,
that makes sense. It's Kim Kardashian, you know. So I don't know. I just feel like if you have those character traits, sometimes it's a phase, sometimes it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, that's true. That's also true, Keith, because we're creatures of habit.
Yeah.
And who we are habitually over a certain amount of time is who we'll be regardless of how long we're married, how long we're off the market. There are some women that are not hoes, right? Check this out. And I don't know how many know this, but there are some women that when they're single, they're just sleeping around. They're just fucking all kind of people, and they get in a relationship and they take it serious. They don't cheat. They don't sleep around. They don't do nothing. But the only way they know how to be single is fucking everybody.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did beforehand. There are some women that I know right now, I'm not going to say no names, but they was married like 12, 13 years, get divorced, and they just going on a rampage. And it's just because, like, a lot of times you mentioned the habits don't always die. They're just there.
Yeah.
You know, look at fucking Jeff Bezos and his girlfriend, Lauren Sanchez. She was trying to fuck what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio right in his face. And Leo was probably just minding his business and she was throwing herself at that guy.
Yeah.
This is not some habit she just picked up in, you know, today.
That's Leo though. She probably seen Titanic. She's like, she moist.
Yeah, she was probably like, I would have never let you go under that water, Jack.
Yeah.
I never understood in Titanic, there was enough room on that fucking board for both of them.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah, women are so selfish. You just gonna let the man just go in the freezing water? He could have been up there with you.
Yeah.
Never let me go, Jack.
Could have been keeping you warm.
You said what?
He could have been keeping her warm.
Yeah, he could have been keeping her warm. But, you know, now that you look back at the movie, now you look at that big ass slab of wood she was floating on in the water. And it's like, yo, y'all both could have been like this. It didn't have to end that way.
Yeah.
Jack did not have to sink to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, it probably wouldn't have sold $1 billion in the box office if they both was on the board.
Yeah.
You gotta make sacrifices.
Yeah. You knew Jack was dead once the music came on, though. I'm like, wait a minute. When I first seen it, I was like, wait. He had room to get on the fucking board. What's going on?
Yeah.
It wasn't one black person on that ship, bro.
It wasn't, huh?
Nah, bro.
I mean, probably in real life either, you know? So
nah.
At least it's realistic.
If they was black, they probably worked like in the middle of the boat or at the bottom, like doing some really grunt work.
Also, niggas can't swim, so they can't, you know, they ain't going out there.
See what you tried to do there, Keith.
Yeah.
I seen it. Strike! Nah.
Can't be no worse than Horror the Explorer.
Oh, Horror the Explorer.
Yeah.
Going to the club tonight? Tequila.
I think they have a live action Dora the Explorer movie.
Oh, they do?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder how that works.
I don't know.
Going to drink mimosas. Say it louder. I got a homie Andre. Shout out to my boy Dre. He said his daughter was watching Dora the Explorer when she was real little. And Dora would be like, say it louder. And she would say it. And he's like, say it louder. It's like, I did say it loud.
His daughter would be mad.
Yeah. His daughter would be mad at the screen.
She don't realize that it's pre-recorded.
Yeah.
They're not really listening to her. That's funny.
Oh.
Kids is comedy.
The Mexican pizza hurt my stomach. Caca. Say it louder. CACA. Baños. Yeah, man. But yeah, there's that, man. Like, let this be a lesson to some of the guys in their mid to late 30s to be very selective and pay attention to the past. I'm not saying judge them for it, but pay attention to it because people don't just break out of those habits. I say if you give Lori Harvey maybe 8 years, she'd probably be a great wife.
I think it's tougher in those positions when you a guy like just famous and
right.
you get pretty much any woman you want to.
Right.
You realize that you got a pass too. Like you probably done smash as Michael B. Jordan, you probably done smash every girl in Hollywood. Like you get I forget who was talking about it. Some actor. I forget who it was, but they were basically saying like how it was so much easier to get women after they did a certain movie, and their life like can change in an instant. Like they did one box office hit, and then they could get any girl in Hollywood. So I can imagine a guy like Michael B. Jordan is like, well, you know, like Drake say, she got a pass and I do too. We perfect for each other. So, you know, if you Michael B. Jordan, it's like I can't really judge a woman for doing X, Y, and Z when I done smashed this girl in this movie, this R&B singer, this person.
The
right
biggest
here.
difference is the attachment problem, meaning a lot of men can discern between I'm just sticking dick in these girls' mouths, and there's nothing else coming from this. Whereas there are some women who have been broken up with an ex for 7 years and still have feelings for him. Like I think some women have different emotional attachments, so it's harder for a woman to live like a man, if that makes sense. Like there are some women there's certain women that have the male attitude, maybe like the Lori Harveys, who could just dump these niggas and move on. But it's harder. What I've seen is harder for women to just get what they want and move on. Usually there's some form of an attachment. Men can detach themselves, which means by the time they find a decent woman, they don't usually have too many hangups. But there are some women, I've literally heard women ask this question many times. Is it possible to love more than one person at the same time? I've heard that a few times. And it's because you love these two people because you were dealing with them probably around the same time.
Sometimes I think you can love two people at the same time.
If you're selfish.
One, you can't really control how you feel about somebody. So say, for example, like you were married to somebody for so many years and that person just like cheated on you. And you built an entire life with this person.
Mm-hmm.
You may not love them, you may not be in love with them,
Mm-hmm.
but that love that you had for an era of your life is probably always going to be there in some capacity.
Past tense.
Yeah. But you still love them.
Yeah, but there's a difference. Love is a concurrent action, meaning I love these two people. I don't know who to choose from. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. But
Yeah.
you're not, even if you bust your wife giving a BJ, you're still going to love her.
Yeah.
Even if you love her past tense, you don't just grow cold and just, she's dead to me. You can't control that emotion, but it's not a concurrent feeling. It's past tense. Versus you got this new woman that's awesome. But there are some people that literally love two people at the same time. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you're more or less to run into a woman who will have that situation when she has the type of lifestyle that Lori Harvey has. You know what I'm saying? Where she's dealing with Diddy, his dad. She's just very explorative. Mm-hmm. Very explorative. Usually that can not end very well. And I'm not trying to give men a pass. You know what I mean? But I just feel like as men, just the way a lot of men think.
That I for sure know. One of my good friends, who shall not be named, was definitely in love with two people at the same time. Yeah, he had like a girlfriend, and yeah, he had a whole situation.
I just don't think men and women don't have the same access to each other. It's a lot more frequent and easy for women to have access to multiple men than the other way around. Men actually have to work. So it's much more commonplace to happen with women than men. Men pursue women, they don't pursue us. Which is why it's much more prevalent with women. Not to say women are hoes, but it's much more likely to happen with them. Whereas men, they just seeing what they could get. And oftentimes, they just get pussy. That's pretty much what they're getting. And then at the end of the day, if they find someone good, they might know it, they might not.
I don't agree with that. I don't think that.
You don't have to. Everybody else does, Keith. Okay?
We're only two people on this podcast. But I think that niggas be falling in love, bro. Like with like it can obviously, like, you know, as men we can maybe mask it as just like sleeping around. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of men do, but there are also a lot of men that be falling in love with females and be like based off of casual sex, you know, the same way that
it's happened to me before.
Yeah, I think that, like, and I don't think that that's ever happened to me personally, but I do know like a lot of guys that's like, man, I really like this person. They be laid up and, you know, and it don't be no real relationship, but it be like a lot of love in those situations.
Yeah, it's happened to me more than once, like probably like at least 2 times, where the chick was obviously in an explorative state where she was probably sleeping around, but me and her were cool. We had good rapport, laughing and stuff. I took that as more than what it was. And that was my mistake. Mm-hmm. But I started really caring about these, I won't say love, but it was getting there, right? And the whole time I'm like trying to get closer to her in that way, she's still doing her thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's not to shit on women. That's just the fact. And I'm sure there's a lot of other men that have had that happen. Yeah. You know, you falling in love with a woman that everybody has access to.
You think it's a real love thing, or maybe like lust?
It's not love or lust. It's infatuation. You're infatuated with the idea of this person for some reason. And here's the thing that I don't have an explanation for. Some people make you feel everything. Some people make you feel nothing. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to correlate it to looks, but I've had women who look really good that I didn't feel anything for in a romantic way. And I've had women that just were just regular everyday girls that I felt everything for.
Yeah.
So it never was tied to looks. It was just something, I don't even know how to really explain it, but they just make you feel everything.
Looks just get you to the door.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, some people get infatuated with women or people because of how they look.
Yeah.
They become infatuated with the idea. Like, they figure they got the girl that looks good, that got them in the door, but then they start to develop all these false ideas of a person just because they want them to be that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You want her to be like, I got to bring her home to my grandma. I want to show my mom and this and that. And it's like, bro, you don't need to bring that girl around your fucking family.
Yeah. She's not going to be around.
Yeah, you bring a girl like that around to your family, probably one of your cousins fucked her.
Dang. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure it's happened before.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah, man.
I think that what is the solution though? Like as far as like, I guess advice from Michael B. Jordan. Like, when do you know if something is right? When do you know if it's real? When do you know if you should be posting these girls on your Instagram? You know, versus like having to delete all these pictures now.
It's hard for me to say from his vantage point because I hate to say this, but Michael B. Jordan is a very well-known actor, very wealthy guy, really handsome dude. I don't live his life. Only he has an answer for that, and evidently he didn't make the right choice. So I live my life as Eddie McGee, so I have my own I guess metrics to determine when something like that would be appropriate. But a guy like that could have any woman he wants, maybe that skewed his view. Maybe that skewed his view that he had a woman that probably didn't need any of his resources, that was just there for him. In his mind, she's here for me. She's not trying to use me. Like the rest of these girls, they just want to be attached to me. But Lori seems different. You get what I'm saying? Like women would be dying to marry him. If Michael B. Jordan said, "Would you marry me?" They would probably be trying to propose to his ass first.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But he proposed to her. And I don't know if this is first time proposing. I don't know his.
I don't even know if that's real. I'm not going to put that out there.
What?
That he proposed to her.
Well, they're saying that he wanted to get married.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's rumors though. Like,
yeah.
But I'm saying we speaking speculatively, so I wouldn't say that definitively, like he proposed to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think, yeah, it's, but sometimes it's just a vibe. I feel like, at least for them, they look like, you know, kind of like they just kind of got along. Who knows how they met? You know, it could have been a photo shoot or something like that. And they just kind of clicked. And going back to what you were saying, as far as just feeling something, it's probably the baddest women in Hollywood. He just feel nothing.
100%.
Yeah, and just with her, it just seemed to be like something kind of. There was something there, and you know, it just didn't work out, which is unfortunate.
And also, this doesn't make Lori like a bad person. She's probably an awesome human being. That could be what made him get attracted to her, you know. But fuck, man, I think that the biggest problem is I'll just speak for men, and I'm not trying to blame Michael B. But we have to be more intentional behind the women that we choose to be in our lives. Like there needs to be real intention. When you're almost 40 years old and you're dating a 25-year-old chick, you need to use your life and go back to when you were 25 and how serious you were about being married at that age. Just look at that. Look at the things you were doing at 25 and versus being in your late 30s. Like I feel like we start to have growth every 5 years. So from the age of 20 to 25, there's some growth there. From the age of 25 to 30, there's some growth there. From the age of 30 to 35, there's definitely some fucking growth there. She is 10 years behind you, bro.
Yeah.
10 years. That's a whole nother phase of life. That's like, you know, let's get drunk tonight. Mimosas on me every night. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah, I guess, there's examples of that working. I guess it just requires like a certain level of maturity from that younger person. Because you think about, I think Jay-Z is like 12 years older than Beyonce or something like that. But Beyonce kind of always has seemed like a little bit older, not looks-wise, but she just seemed more mature.
She's in the industry too.
You know, than her age. And she's been in, you know, singing and stuff since she was a teenager.
Right.
So, you know, and she, you know, sometimes it'd be a situation where on a certain level, you guys are like, have a little bit of the same maturation. Cause a lot of times a girl may be more emotionally mature and then the guy is like, maybe like business wise, and you know, he's a certain business acumen that may be a little bit more mature, and then they kind of could balance each other out. But yeah, I mean, it seemed to work out for them at least.
I think that that's an outdated narrative with women now, because I think women are becoming a lot more immature now. I think that, like, especially in the past, I feel like back then there would be a woman that was like 21 and will be dating a guy that was like 35. But a lot of that also happened due to the fact that back then men were the breadwinners. So a lot of younger women, it was very commonplace to see young women with older guys.
Yeah.
And they grew up fast because especially society expected women to be moms or stay-at-home moms and all of this. But a lot of women are not. They're shifting from that role. But now we live in a time where you'll see a woman that's 36 that's posting thirst traps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
this is definitely not a general statement. I just think for me, when I'm talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce's relationship, Jay-Z mentioned that Beyonce was teaching him stuff about spirituality, and you know, I think she might have been one of the proponents in helping him seek therapy and stuff like that. So obviously, it takes a certain type of woman. This is not across the board, but she just seemed like a person that, you know, she had a little bit more of a grasp on her emotions than probably Jay-Z did.
Yeah, maybe that also they both were in the industry, so that actual similarity was more powerful than what you would think. So you're kind of forced to grow up a little bit faster when you're in the industry, even if you have an age gap. That's the main thing bringing you two together. You both exist in the same workspace.
Yeah.
So that in itself is different. I don't know if Jay-Z could have that same type of relationship with a woman that has no fucking clue about what's going on. Like Beyonce is B. You ain't got to say her whole name. She owns the letter B. That's just nuts.
Yeah.
Right? Not literally. But you know, when you're that massive and Jay-Z is that massive, you are fucking Goliaths that exist on opposite genres. So that's where you also connect. Because even back then, Beyonce was a force. Like when they first met. So, and Jay-Z was a force. And now it's even more undeniable how powerful they are with their platforms. So I think having somebody that's like a fucking lioness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You dating a woman like that, that's a whole, you gotta play up to her speed, brother. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Ain't got nothing left on this Michael B. Jordan stuff. Just pray for that guy, man. He might need a prayer, but really not. He's probably getting a blowjob right now.
Yeah.
It's like, man, she left me, man. Girl down there, oh, that's messed up. All right, switching gears. Nasty pools in Las Vegas. Recently, they conducted a study on, you know, those pools you see everybody in, and they're playing the techno music, and it's basically these clubs that have pools in there, these big pool parties all over Las Vegas. And you see everybody having a great time in the water, and you hear that techno, what's that? What is it like that? And everybody's having a blast, not realizing they are playing in a pool full of shit. Water samples from pool parties at Las Vegas casinos reveal medical nightmares lurking in the water. If you've ever been to Las Vegas pool party at any of the major clubs, chances are you spent a fortune. Had a great time, and the water was questionable. Some of the most fun days I've ever had in Las Vegas were at pool parties, but it's deeply disturbing how the water turns green throughout the day. I won't name the club, but a few years ago, me and the fellas had a cabana to see Tiesto at the Las Vegas pool party, and when we arrived, the pool was clean and blue. But as the day wore on, and hundreds, thousands of people started drinking and inevitably began peeing in the pool, the water turned green as if the golf course pond. It was nasty.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So there was a couple places that did some testing. Inside Edition recently tested the pool water at 3 popular Las Vegas day clubs: Marquee Daylight Beach Club and Tao Beach Daylight Club. Daylight had a massive total bacteria count of 100 million. E. coli fecal bacteria was found foam floating throughout the pool. So there was foam and there was shit in the foam. Folks, you got to understand that where there's people, there'll be shit. Yeah, man, it's nuts. And it's really nasty to see all the people just in there. And you don't know what everyone's hygiene's like. And there's some people that be having sex in that pool. So here's the worst part. Let's say a guy goes and puts a condom on, because when you're drunk, especially when you're young and dumb and drunk, you're doing very questionable things. So there's probably a dude that's sliding a condom on underwater, right? He's getting the bacteria in his fucking pee hole. And then now he's having sex with this chick and he's shoving dirty water in her freaking baby maker, right? And and it's just nasty.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's just bad news.
Yeah, that's I have been to the Caesar's Palace, like a little pool party at the Caesar's Palace, and that's something you don't really. I feel like a lot of times when you're out in Las Vegas and you just trying to have fun, you kind of know the risks that are involved with these situations. You understand that it's 200 people or whatever at this pool party. And you understand that it's a lot of bacteria being exchanged. But you don't want to think about it because it would just turn you off. You know, it's one of those things. But I think that it is important to be mindful of what's going on, because this is very disturbing to know that it's just doo-doo floating around, and people peeing in the pools. And yeah, this is a disgusting experience for sure.
R. Kelly has entered the chat.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be rude, but I love to chill in pools.
Yeah.
Las Vegas Raider Nation, I'm all about that urination. This guy is still peeing in pools.
That's crazy.
Cancel R. Kelly, man. Yo, I forgot who it was. I was listening to a podcast. No, I think it was my stupid ass that said it. I was playing around. We were saying something. I was like, free R. Kelly. And you started dying.
I don't remember that.
Yo, it just popped up on the news today that they're supposed to be giving him 25 years.
He already got sentenced.
Are you sure? Because I just seen like 2 different articles.
Oh, he might not have got sentenced yet.
Yeah,
Then.
said 25 years. Said
Yeah, I think he's waiting on his sentence. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He gonna be in prison. Like, give me that toot, give me some of that pee.
Yeah, it's a rough time for him. I could imagine, like, you know, they got him PC'd up somewhere.
Got him PP'd up. He instead of protective custody in the protective P. This nigga was the first person to ever be pushing P before it even became a cool thing.
That's crazy.
Man.
Kinda gotta get him on a remix.
Oh, they gotta get him pushing P. Yeah, pushing P. Turn me up. Turn me up, P.
Now they can make a fire pushing P remix, especially because they both gonna be in prison.
Oh man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they more or less like pushing C, pushing commissary. Oh man, that's not funny to laugh at somebody in prison, but dude, look, if you've done anything to incriminate yourself and you're actually guilty of the crimes, then it's like you can't be mad at anybody but you, man. It sucks.
Yeah, they going crazy in Atlanta on those racketeering cases and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think this in general, but I guess the judge had mentioned they were trying to get these people off the streets, and it's like I wonder. I think Gunna might get lesser charges probably.
Yeah, I don't know about his involvement, but he was denied bail too. So
I wonder what this is going to do to his career. What he's going to talk about.
Probably not much different.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, if he gets it out, I imagine it would be, you know, more clout. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Like T.I. go to prison, and you know he got a #1 album in prison. Lil Wayne, you know, becomes a little bit more popular when he get out of prison. Stuff like that.
I just thought about it. Lil Wayne was never really talking about anything. He just was a dope lyricist, but he never was talking about shit.
Yeah, he didn't have no real substance in most of his music.
Yeah,
he just rapped good.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, chemo side, baby. Bottom is my hobby. He was going crazy during that mixtape era.
Yeah.
He was the one leading the charge, bro.
All those dedications.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot which one it was. I don't know if it wasn't Dedication 2. It was No Ceilings. Remember that song? All we do is shop until we drop. All we do is shop until we drop. That shit used to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lil Wayne, man, that guy's. I think he's only 39. I don't even think he's 40 yet.
I mean, he started so young.
It's fucking
he was
crazy.
a teenager when he was running around with hot boys and whatnot.
Lil Wayne looks like stir fried shit, man. You see that guy? You see his dreadlocks?
Yeah, he's losing his hair.
Yeah, that shit is nuts.
He has so many tattoos. He just looks pretty crazy.
Yeah, he looks like fucking. He looks like, I don't know, man. He just looks like a hate crime. Like somebody just beat his ass.
Yeah, yeah. All that lean and stuff. I just, I don't know.
He's like, it doesn't matter what I have in my cup, KD.
Yeah.
You seen that interview?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, so what's in your cup? Whatever's in this cup has made me more awesome. It made me more money than anybody my age. And I've been rapping for this many years, so it's my cup.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, somebody get this guy some help.
You need to breathe when he talk.
Yeah, he don't breathe. He's like, yeah, man, it's kind of tough coming up. Yeah, moolah, baby. You remember that rock album? I don't know if he had a rock album that came out.
Yeah, it was. I forgot what it's called.
One song was called Prom
Had the
Queen.
Prom Queen on there. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was kind of cool though.
Mm-hmm. He didn't really ever learn how to play guitar, but he would like.
He always nigga always had a guitar, never learned how to play.
Yeah, it was somebody behind the scenes playing, and he would just be like acting like he was playing.
Instead of using the guitar, he just used his voice and make fucking sound effects.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I say Wayne had it on lock from like 2005 to like 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like right around there, Lil Wayne had it. Like,
yeah,
he had it on lock.
Cause 10, that's when
Drake started coming out and shit.
Cole, Kendrick, that's when they really started like becoming the new guys. But yeah, I would say that
they really came on in 11, but they just started really coming out in late 10.
Mm-hmm.
Drake came out before them.
Yeah, he did, but I think they all popped around the same time.
Yeah,
like they was all because I think I would say. I think Kendrick. I think Section 80 was out around like
11.
It came out in 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he was. I seen him on tour after I graduated high school, and then he kind of like Good Kid, Mad City came out a few years later.
That was it.
But yeah, then he was out of here.
He was out of it. Me and my niggas how to get it, ya bitch.
Yeah,
bitch. That's when I knew he was out of there.
Yeah, it was over after that.
Yeah, we just jumped off the pools. But yeah, the pools are nasty, man. Be aware. You go out there, you have a good time, and you're out there in those nasty ass pools. Get out the pool. Get out that fucking pool. Or get in it early when they first open up and it's blue. And then once a bunch of people show up, get the fuck out the pool.
Get out of there. Get out of Dodge.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough chlorine to kill all those bad germs.
Yeah, it's just so many people, man. Like, there's no way to really keep it clean. It just doesn't really make sense.
Like, I'm not gonna say any names, but there was an employee. I'm not gonna say if he was past or present, but there's somebody that when you get on the truck after this guy, you smell body odor.
Mm-hmm.
Some people leave a smell when they get out of a seat. You ever seen somebody like that?
Yeah, that's disturbing.
Like they get out of the seat. And then now you smell it. You like, I'm sitting in the smell now.
What is it? Can you describe the smell?
It's a mixture between bad hygiene, manifestation of farts, dirty underwear, and not taking a shower for a few days, probably. You want to know, like, there's some people that don't take showers, bro. They literally don't. If I skip a day, and I don't skip days, but let's just say, for example, I go to sleep and I don't shower at night, and then I wake up the next morning, your balls be on another level, bro.
Stanky, huh?
Your balls be like low-key Stank Junior.
Yeah.
Like, they don't be like stanking, but they're like level 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I shower every day for that reason.
I couldn't imagine, like, you also, like, have, like, hygiene things. Though. You get rashes and stuff if you're not taking showers. But, yeah, I know there's some bigger people
Oh my God.
Like they got different scents.
Yeah.
The one of the ones that's most disturbing is like a sour smell.
Yes.
It's like some big people be having like sour smells. I've also it'd be some girls with like big titties. This is completely off different. Like,
You better hurry up and get it out, Keith. They're waiting on it.
Girls like bigger titty. Like if you got double D's, like it's a lot of sweat and stuff.
Yeah.
So like the day can like be the scent from the day can be cuffed underneath your titty. Ooh. And sometimes, I've smelled that before.
Oh, really? You know what I don't like at all, and women need to stop doing this shit? Don't you dare, especially the big-breasted ladies, don't you dare take something out of your bra and try to fucking hand it to me.
You don't like that?
Hell no.
Yeah.
You try to give me a soggy $5 bill. Here, pay with this. I can't use that fucking wet-ass $5 bill now.
It's soggy? That's gross.
Your titty has marinated this fucking $5 bill. I don't want it anymore. Just put that shit back in there.
Yeah.
Yo, it's some girls that are so well endowed in that area that they could put whole bottles of alcohol in their shirt before they go to the club.
Really?
Yeah, because like women with huge breasts always sneak in alcohol in the clubs, and you can't do anything about it because like the freaking security can't like search you like that. Mm-hmm. They don't search women, so they just go in the club with big old bottles.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, you never seen that before?
No, I never.
Bro, I've been in the club many times and seen some girl with ginormous breasts, and they just pull out a whole bottle of fucking tequila. You'd be like, God damn.
That's crazy.
This is what's going on here.
That's wild.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want somebody to chime in on that because I know they fucking seen it.
One of the listeners might have done it before.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I got big titties. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
It's a way to save money.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They just go to the store and be stealing everything. Mm-hmm. You got watermelons in your bra and shit. You got fruit cups and shit just all in there. And then security ain't gonna check it.
Yeah.
Yo, it was a lady, I forgot what it was on. It was on Cops, I think. Mm-hmm. This dude was stealing a bunch of meat. Mm-hmm. He had meat. He put meat in his sweatpants. He had meat in his underwear. He had meat all over his body.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, put the meat back now. He's like, what meat? I ain't got no meat. And then they pulled his shirt off and just meat start falling out. Like steaks,
in packages? Or what?
Packages, steaks and all kind of shit. I'm like, bruh, just throw all that shit out.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
If y'all put that shit back on there, y'all should have just let him go.
I don't want no armpit sweat on my
Yeah. I don't want no steak with nuts on it.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
You marinated the steak in nut juice all over the goddamn steak. Just let the guy leave. I remember back in the day, there was people that used to boost or steal from stores, and this is what they would do. They would get a cart, right? They would fill it full of shit, and then they would just run out the back door. The alarm would go off, and they would just be running out the back door with a cart full of shit.
Yeah. Nobody would stop them?
No. Well, they probably would try to, but they would be gone. Mm-hmm. Like, I know Toys R Us was a hot spot. They used to steal from there all the time.
Yeah.
They'd be selling stuff. And there was some dudes that be selling meat. They'd be stealing from stores. They're like, hey, man, I got some big steaks. Only $5 for all these steaks. We're talking about like fucking $30 worth of food.
They should, what they should do really is more like, I think there's a better way to do the emergency exits. Like, I don't know, it's an emergency exit, so it has to be, you have to be able to run through it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They could figure out a way where it's like technically locked until there's an emergency going on.
I think it is locked. Like at Planet Fitness, that back door got a thing on it. It got like a bar on it.
But you can't lock an emergency exit. That's a lawsuit. It's like fire hazards and stuff. But like at those like TJ Maxx and Marshalls and all that, like that's the game, right? You rock around a little bit. You kind of like try not to look too suspicious, and then you just jet out of the emergency exit.
Yeah.
Then they can't do nothing about it. They just act like, hey, get back here, and then just jog over there.
Hey, where you going, kid?
Yeah.
I tried to stop him. He ran too fast.
Exactly.
That job ain't paying those guys nothing. Just let those fucking kids run out with the shit, man.
Yeah.
I remember some dude was stealing from Sears, and I just let him I let him run right by me. Mm-hmm. And then loss prevention was like, why'd you let him get away? I was like, I'm not stopping that nigga.
Yeah. I don't get
this is what, 2006? I'm like, man, y'all pay me $8.50 an hour. I'm not about to stop this nigga from running out the store.
Nah. not me.
Hell no. He was like, oh, thanks a lot. I'm like, dude.
And it's like $20 or maybe. How much do you think he stole?
I don't who the dude?
Yeah.
I don't know what he stole.
Oh, okay.
Like, but he was running out that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day they literally busted this girl stealing some shit, but she had stole from like 3 other stores in the mall. Mm-hmm. And when they took all of her stuff and the police got there, this girl had a fucking dildo in there.
Nah.
Swear, bro. She had it was a big ass dildo. And she was little.
Stealing a dildo is crazy.
Bruh. I'm like, yo. Like, that was wild. And everybody was laughing, taking pictures of it and shit. This is like 2007. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yo, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, bro, that's wild. She stole from that store Spencer's. She stole from that store Hot Topic that was there back in the day, and she stole from somewhere else, and then she stole out of Sears. Mm-hmm. And when they emptied out her pockets, they found a motherfucking sex toy.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it was a joke or it was like just stealing a gag gift, or she was like finna use that motherfucker.
She was probably gonna use it.
That's wild.
Probably to relieve the stress of stealing.
What?
To relieve the stress of stealing. It's like, oh my gosh, the police were after me today. Oh
my God. You ain't gonna steal nothing for a minute. You put that big motherfucker in your ass. Oh man. Yo, it's been some like conversations going around, like joking conversations around. It's this sex toy that look like a flower. You seen it? It's like a rose. And supposedly it's a rose, but it's got like suction on it. To where it's like suction while it's vibrating. Like, bro, we're not gonna be able to please these women in 2023.
Yeah, man. My dick ain't got no suction actually. Got no suction qualities.
That motherfucker be like
it's like a dick in a mouth. Like,
yeah, it's like, come on, man. We can't do anything with that, man.
Yeah.
Like our like what's crazy is like we're becoming like our dicks are like dinosaurs now.
Facts.
It's like they done upgraded to Tesla and we still driving the fucking.
Oh, for sure.
We got Toyota Tacomas and they got a goddamn Tesla.
Yeah. All we got is like passion.
That's it.
Like you can't really like replicate the passion.
Yeah.
Of, like,
I don't even
body,
think I don't think women are that impressed by our penises, bro. I think it's just like the touch and stuff.
It's all that.
It's the extra stuff
around it.
The expression
sure.
and all that, and the hugging and it's all that. But as far as like pleasure, they don't even need us for that no more.
Not at all. I don't need a woman either. So just so y'all don't feel special out there. Saying right here done me well.
Keith got that suction. They don't make they ain't got no inventions for men. They just like all you got is lotion, cuz.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true.
They got the fleshlights and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But I just think as a man, I don't know. I don't feel like it's the same. Like if you a guy with like real personal sex toys, you kind of looked at as a weirdo. Right. But every girl got some type of
yes, they do.
Sex toys. Yeah. And it's not even looked at. We got to destigmatize male sex toys, man.
I don't know though. I don't know what type of toys we need. I'm gonna tell you something. I think this is just me on a limb. I'm gonna say this is lowballing it, Keith, and I'm probably wrong. I'm gonna say 68% of women have sex toys.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah. So I say about 68% of women gotta have some type of sex toy. Mm-hmm. Even the ones listening right now is like, you don't know us. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Because I mean, I think sex toys are important too because it kind of keeps you from like having sex with the wrong niggas.
Oh, women. Yeah, that's
when
true.
you realize like you could just do that yourself, then you won't be having.
There's some women. There's some women out there that they don't sleep around. They just get home, focus on whatever business they're doing, and watch their favorite show, drink a bottle of wine, and then pull that goddamn flower out.
Yeah,
that motherfucker be on.
Go right to sleep too.
Yeah, if they forget to turn that motherfucker off, it probably sound like a washer and dryer in there.
You know
Mama, are you washing clothes?
No, the worst is The worst, you know how the Netflix like is you still watching?
Uh-huh.
You know that thing? Imagine doing that when you just using your dildo. Like you in the middle of Ozark and it's just like, are you still watching?
You still playing with your pussy in there? You done with that toy yet?
That's crazy.
They gotta set up a feature to where if you still got that toy after a couple hours, they just call the ambulance. Just call the goddamn police. All right, switching gears. Man accidentally breaks into an apartment and cleaned it. The backstory behind this is the guy is a professional cleaner. He has a cleaning business where he goes into homes and obviously you set up an appointment and whatnot, and he goes and he deep cleans your house. Man accidentally breaks into and cleans the wrong apartment. A New Jersey couple came home to find someone had broken into their condo and cleaned it. It turned out a man looking to clean his friend's place had simply entered the wrong house. Luis Angelino III works a 9-to-5 job but cleans friends' houses for extra money on the side. Once a messy kid, he says cleaning is like therapy now. It's just very satisfying, and it really helped me with my mental health and everything, because if you're in a clean environment, your mind is clean. That is a very good point. That is very true. Angelino showed up at the address of what he thought was his friend Mark's condo in Cherry Hill. He was told the key was under the mat. And there was a key. He turned on music, worked for 2 hours, and fell in love with 2 cats, Mary and Baby. But then he got a call from Mark. Mark's like, "Hey, did you come today? Did you clean?" Angelino said, "I'm in your living room waiting on you to walk in. I'm playing with your cat." He goes, "Man, I don't have a cat." So basically, this guy, he went and picked up the key underneath the mat, but another neighbor that was right next to him also had a key underneath the mat. Mm-hmm. Yo, I would be bugging out, dog, if I came off of work and everything is perfect, organized, everything's everywhere, everything's wiped down, smells like bleach. I would be bugging. Like, who the fuck broke in my house and made it perfect?
Yeah, normally people steal stuff. You just cleaned up my house.
Yeah, I'm like, who the fuck did this? I owe you money.
That would be a cool, like, imagine, you have this, like...
the clean bandit.
Yeah. Like a guy, it could be like a little movie or something like that. Maybe a guy that was once upon a time, like, stealing and robbing and stuff like that. Like, he kind of, righted his wrongs by breaking into people's houses and cleaning up. Yeah.
You know what? You know the ultimate, like, not superhero, but he's like almost like a vigilante, but he's not. Like you seen that show Hoarders? Mm-hmm. What if like the person that's hoarding in their house, they leave for like 8 hours, and then he breaks into your back window and he cleans everything.
Yeah.
He just cleans, he mops, he cleans everything, and then the hoarder comes home like, no!
Yeah, that's not a good thing for the hoarders, because they like, where's my pizza that I ate 2 years ago that I left the pizza box right
here? Oh, man. Yeah, that show Hoarders is wild. Mm-hmm. It was an episode I seen, bro, and I was fucking dying. This dude, they were picking up a bunch of shit, and he had some sodas that had been expired for over like 2 to 3 years. Mm-hmm. And then he said, "You got these old sodas here?" And then he's like, "It's like, I feed them to the dogs." And he said, "You know that this is expired for 5 years? The dogs love it." I was like, bruh.
Wait, he's giving soda to dogs?
Yeah, expired soda.
That's wild.
Fucking 3 to 5 years old. And the lady was like, "Oh my God, you give expired soda to dogs?" Yeah, and they love it.
I mean, the expired is one thing, but just giving soda to dogs is wild to me.
Them dogs' insides probably all fucked up. They'd be like, "Rover, come here. Rover. Rover."
I can imagine a type of gas and doo-doo coming out of the dog from drinking that old soda.
You know what? I don't know why I thought about this. Literally Friday, I did something that I have not done in probably 15 years. And this is no bullshit. I got an Arizona fruit punch.
How was it?
You know the 99-cent tall cans? Mm-hmm. I got one, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't ever get it because they're so fucking loaded with sugar. But I said, you know what? Let me have a treat. Fuck.
Yeah.
It tasted phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right? And on the front, it said no artificial flavors. Mm-hmm. Right? all natural. I turned that motherfucker around, and the first ingredient was high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, I ain't lying.
Y'all lying, but that was some good fructose.
No, them must be hitting, especially like if you they taste the best. It's, definitely when they cold and it's hot outside. But also you got to be a little bit dehydrated because it'd be a little bit more sweeter when you dehydrate.
I didn't need to be dehydrated. It was just good. It just tasted really good, and I had it on some ice, so it tasted really good. But yeah, shit was fucking sugary as fuck. Nah, man. But yeah, I just thought it was a funny, feel good story of a guy that was just doing a job, and he ended up being a hero. But to extend the story, the people that he accidentally cleaned the house, they paid him.
Yeah.
Which I think was really cool.
Yeah, imagine doing all that for free. That would have sucked.
Yeah, but if I made that mistake, I wouldn't expect him to pay me nothing. I'd be like, hey, man, I'm sorry I was in your house. My name is James or whatever. Hey, I apologize. And I would walk off not expecting any payment. But just imagine. Okay, look, here's the best. Imagine if it was a single mother, right? And she's super busy all fucking day with her kids and work and shit. Now she's got to go home and clean. And then this guy breaks into your house and cleans your whole fucking house.
Yeah.
Yo, we should write a real comic book based on that.
Yeah, that'd be fire.
He'd be like the fucking almost not even, I guess, like a superhero almost. Dishes are dirty, I'll be there. And then instead of like the bat signal, it'd just be a bottle of lemon pledge. Imagine if Consuela was just busting in every house. I clean everything.
Nah, that would be fire.
Lemon pledge.
Yeah. Who would be like the supervillain?
The supervillain would be, that's a good one. Like what, the guy that's trying to stop him from cleaning?
I guess the guy is just making all the houses dirty. I guess. I don't know. They fighting over who can keep a house clean or something.
I probably just have to be like, I probably have to be like a man in a back alley that sleeps in a trash can. You think you can defeat me, clean man? You think you could throw me away like the trash? I'll never let you clean again. On the next episode of Clean Man.
Clean Man.
Dun, 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 clean Man. Dun, 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 clean Man.
That was crazy.
Can you imagine if it was like Captain America or some shit? And it'd be like, Lemon Pledge. Lemon Pledge. Dishwasher, what the fuck is it?
You talking about Captain Planet?
Yeah, but it'd be, instead of Captain Planet, it would be like
you gotta say Captain America.
Huh?
You said Captain America.
No, Captain America. Instead of like Captain Planet, it would be like all cleaning items. It'd be like dishwashing liquid, pledge.
No, maybe it'd be like the Power Rangers.
What's that?
And then they just kind of like transform into this ultimate cleaning machine.
They just turn into one big ass mop.
Yeah. You'd be like, Dawn! Ajax! OxyClean.
No, for OxyClean, it's gonna be that dude that come out. OxyClean, slap it on, put it away. You'll never have to worry about a dirty job again. Get it on in there and spin it around for about 15 minutes. Call now for a limited supply. With a free shipping and handling.
Oh man, that's comedy.
Yeah, dude's name was Willie Mays, I think his name was, that passed away.
Yeah.
He was the best fucking OxyClean guy ever.
Yeah, he'd sell anything.
He'll sell anything. Yeah, that's nuts. He could sell kryptonite to Superman. Kryptonite. Do you need kryptonite in your life? Better something to handle. I think that they did that shit to save commercial time.
Yeah, they had to squeeze all that in
sped
there.
up
You
the
know
words.
who does that, which is extremely weird, is Rory and Mal.
What do you mean?
They have ads on their podcast, and it'll be like, I don't know what there's maybe like a mental health thing.
Oh, and at the end, it's jammed.
And they just like, but it's not them, because on the infomercials and stuff like that, those are actually people that can talk very fast.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Busta Rhymes that can read really good. But the Rory and Mal, they're like speeding it up, like, artificially.
Oh.
It's kind of weird.
I didn't know that they was talking that fast. Mm-hmm. They really be talking that fast? Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I thought they was speeding it up.
Mm-mm. I mean, there's some people that could talk that fast.
Yeah, Twister. Mm-hmm. Bone Thugs. Mm-hmm. I remember one time they said, like they told people to recite the words for Bone Thugs, and people really try to act like they know what the fuck Bone Thugs was saying. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what they were saying.
Yeah.
Like,
you need
besides
a lyric printout.
Yeah, besides I'm gonna miss everybody or my Uncle Charles. Besides that, I know nothing.
Yeah, those are only two.
Me funny me rostro, I'm in the savage. I still don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. They make good music, but I just don't know the words.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Shout out to Bone Thugs. Mm-hmm. All right, switching gears, man. This happened to me recently. Basically, I got off of work a few days ago or Friday night, and I got off kind of late, but I wanted to stop by the store to grab some shit on the way home. So I make it to the checkout line, and as I'm there, me and this chick start hitting it off in the line. We're talking. She's pretty attractive. Nice little body on her and shit. And as the conversation progresses, she's like, yeah, because she looked at my hat. I had a Dodger hat on. She's like, is you a Dodger fan? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, I love baseball. I play softball, whatever. I'm like, oh, this is cool. So it's basically, when you're talking to somebody and it's leaning towards like this attraction both ways. You guys are both sharing information. And then she just lands this, I don't even want to call it a bombshell, but she just says something so nonchalantly that it kind of like made me just like not deal with her. She just said, yeah, I love going to Sam Lynn or, going to the batting cages to blow off some steam. It keeps me from going back to jail. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know what I mean? No, I don't know what you mean. I don't go to jail. But I didn't say that. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I was just like, hey, well, hey, you have a good night. And she's like, all right, you too. And then she left. Mm-hmm. But the reason why I bring this up is because most men get so distracted by women with nice asses and titties that would have not been a deal breaker for them. Mm-hmm. I don't want to judge a woman for her past. Who knows why she went to jail? I don't want to judge her for that. But at the same time, you don't always want to stick around for that, because 2 weeks later, you'll be like, she stabbed me. Yeah. And it's like, bro, she basically already told you she didn't want to go back to jail. Mm-hmm. So you kind of, she kind of let that be known that she goes to jail a lot. Mm-hmm. And you stuck around. And this is the problem with a lot of men, where men will, like, either they're attracted to these type of women, or they don't have any standards and they will allow any red flag as long as the chick is hot. Yeah. This happens far too often. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely got to like see the signs. Even if it's a casual thing. Yeah. Like, Yep. One, there's a person that would like fall in love with her and marry her, and she'd be like a abusive girlfriend. Probably. That's one thing, but even bringing that energy into your house and just into your life it's a lot. Yeah. And I think the older you get, you start to become more mindful of like even your casual partners, and like I said before, bringing that energy into your house, because even with somebody casual, you want a little rapport. You want to be able to kick it, chop it up a little bit, like, and you don't want to be arguing with somebody that you just like casually having sex with. Right. This is like a waste of time. Y'all shouldn't be arguing. Y'all should just be fucking. Yeah, talking about the Dodgers and then getting on with your life. Yeah. Yeah. But I was just like, what? Like, if like so many men that don't have any kind of standards, like they'll just like, oh, that ain't no big deal. She's a woman. She can't hurt me. Bro, these women will fuck you up, bro. Yeah, for sure. They will fuck you up somehow. Mm-hmm. Even if she's been in a lot of street fights in her life and she fought in jail too, bro, she might stab you, bro. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, nah. Yeah. That's crazy. I wish you would have got more information. There was no more information to get, Keith. I just got my snacks and left.
Yeah, I mean, just for podcast purposes. I just want to know why she went to jail.
I don't
what
think.
she did.
No, I don't think that I would have. It would have been smart for me to get more information because I would have fucked her. It would have not been more stories to tell. I was like, yeah, this would have been like, I made a mistake, man.
Yeah.
Let this woman in my house. She stole all my shit.
Next podcast, he would have been bandaged up all on your neck because she stabbed you or something.
Sex was great, but I don't have a TV anymore. She was a freak, but my car stereo's missing.
Yeah, she's especially how comfortable she was. She probably would have divulged way more crazier stories.
Oh, hell yeah. She would like I'm just like a really like sexually open person, and I was having a threesome the other night, and like, it's never been a problem for me, I'm just very open like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I've had girls tell me they had threesomes before. They just kind of spring it on you.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like,
girls be getting comfortable and they just got like a motor mouth. They be saying all kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, one time a girl just like, she had mentioned that she had a threesome, and I was curious. I was like, oh, so and this is what I said just on purpose to see how she reacted, because I wanted to make it like it was cool. I was like, oh, you had two dudes? She was like, no, it was a girl and a guy. I was just trying to get her to say it. She's like, no. I wonder how many women have had threesomes with two dudes before, but they too like embarrassed to tell people.
Yeah.
That's
probably
wild.
a lot out there.
Yeah, it's probably more than what you think. I bet you Lori Harvey didn't have that before.
I was just thinking about Lori Harvey.
She done had Diddy and his son at the same time.
Dang.
He's like, yeah, take that. Me and my son. Me and my son.
Take that and take this.
Shake that shit.
What's the name? Pat and Zylo shot a podcast with Diddy on there. They went to his house.
Oh, they did? When was this?
They shot it a couple weeks ago,
shit.
but it barely aired. It's Young Miami. She has a
okay, I heard
from City
of
Girl. She has a podcast, and they did the camera work on there. It was funny because on Joe Budden's podcast, he was talking about how the interview looked. He was like, man, he was like, that camera's floating. He was like, man, Eric, like, you got to step your game up. Like, Eric is a person that mans their cameras on their podcast. He's like, man, you got to step their game up. And Pat is the one that was operating that camera.
Shout out to Pat, bro.
Yeah, so I told him, and he was like, man, I'm going to put that on my story.
You got to, man. Sometimes you got to stop being so humble and talk your shit sometimes, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk your shit, bro. Because ain't nobody like... Look, at the end of the day, it's not okay to just be this cocky person. Just do the work, but it's some milestones you just don't want to ignore.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like, I'll say this one, and I'm not going to go any deeper, but me and Keith have been getting thousands of listens. Literal thousands. Like literal. And it's been happening over weeks and weeks and weeks. And we appreciate everybody that's tuned in. But I think that we're taking these small milestones because we know they're going to be way larger, But, yeah, we appreciate y'all, man. And kind of got off I don't know. I got off the topic. God damn it. It was a hot chick. Yeah. I'll close out the topic by saying that men, just be more mindful. Don't just let some big titties. And this girl had cakes and pies. Okay. And I could have totally just got her number and cooperated with her, but that would have been a waste. There was one girl that, like I told you earlier, and I swear to God, I actually used to work with this before I was truck driving. There was this other chick where she told me that her boyfriend had cheated on her. So she went to his job and beat his ass. And she got arrested, and like everybody was a witness against her, and she did a little bit of jail time for assaulting her boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend. And she told me about that. And I didn't like want to hook up with her after that, but I did give her my number, and she texts me every single morning, hey, good morning, how you doing? Every fucking day for 2 weeks. I only responded like 3 times.
Really?
And she wrote me every fucking day.
Dang.
I was not impressed. She looked pretty good. She looked pretty good. I swear to this, true story, swear to God. But I just couldn't fuck with her because she scared me, dog. Mind you, look at me. I'm a big guy. She was not that big, but she looked like she
You
could have.
just don't know what, like,
Yeah, she would have fucked me up, bro.
emotions run human beings, and who knows what could happen with
Yeah.
you may have sex with her and be like telling her like, hey, I don't think we should do this anymore, like, I like you as a person, but I think we should stop doing this, and she may just be like, bust your windows out or some weird
Nah,
stuff.
she might be. You might tell her that y'all both naked, and then she just pull a knife out of nowhere.
Yeah,
You be like, where the fuck did you get that knife? You ain't got no clothes on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You ever been fucked and stabbed at the same time? Huh?
Yeah, man.
That's wild, bro.
Or if you give her some weak dick, she might kill you.
Yeah, she'd be like, so that's how you feel about me? What do you mean? What do you mean? 2 minutes, Eddie? 2 minutes? Huh? I told you what I did to my last boyfriend, right? You're like, what do you mean? Just give me another chance. Put the gun down, please. Give me another chance. That'll be nut though. But what if you get a second chance and you get that second round, but you so nervous and like scared that you bust the nut fast again?
Yeah, shit, for sure. Like, yeah,
it's like life or death. That shit just come flying out the next time.
The only way to save yourself is to nut in her, and she'll be happy to have a baby.
Damn, that's wild. Jesus Christ. That's next level, man. You got to keep that on stage for the next time you do stand up, bro.
Especially if they in their 30s, they for sure ready to have a baby.
Damn.
So you can nut fast, but you like nut in her, and she'd be like, "Oh my gosh!"
So you could upset a woman for the rest of her life. Mommy, how did I come into this world? First off, your sorry ass daddy couldn't last 2 minutes.
Sorry ass. Not to say I don't love you, but
oh man, yeah. All right, switching gears. Where we at, man? Let's see if we cut one.
116.
Oh yeah, we got time. All right. Recently, Justin Bieber was diagnosed with Ramsay Hunt syndrome, and apparently Ramsay Hunt syndrome is where the half of your face is paralyzed, and it looks really bad, man. So prayers to Justin Bieber on this. Let me read a little bit of an article here. It should be here. All right. Justin Bieber says half his face is paralyzed due to Ramsay Hunt syndrome. Justin Bieber revealed Friday that he has been diagnosed with Ramsay Hunt syndrome, which has left half his face paralyzed. The news comes after Bieber postponed several upcoming concerts because of a previously unidentified illness. In an Instagram video Friday, Bieber showed fans that he can only do things like blinking and smiling with one side of his face. For those who are frustrated by my cancellation of next shows, I'm just physically obviously not capable of doing them, Bieber said. This is pretty serious, as you can see. I wish this wasn't the case, but obviously my body is telling me I got to slow down, and I hope you guys can understand. They probably be like, I still want my tickets. You need to perform. Yeah. You still got half a face, Justin. You can still perform, motherfucker. Yeah, man. Prayers to Justin, man. Let me see. Here's the video here.
Justin here. I wanted to update you guys on what's been going on. Obviously, as you can probably see from my face, I have this syndrome called Ramsay Hunt syndrome, and it is from this virus that attacks the nerve in my ear and my facial nerves, and has caused my face to have paralysis. As you can see, this eye is not blinking. I can't smile on this side of my face. This nostril will not move. So there's full paralysis in this side of my face.
So you guys get the gist of it. Justin's having a hard time talking there. I don't want to keep putting that on there. But yeah, there are some people saying this is what happens when you give your soul to Illuminati. I'm like, oh my God.
That's stupid.
You motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Here you go with that nonsense. But yeah, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is because a lot of people tend to look at celebrities as these freaking Teflon people. Like they look at them as these larger than life people, but they deal with the same elements that we do. And ultimately, you know, a lot of people don't question their mortality or their health until they see celebrities going through shit, which I don't know why. You know, people started questioning their own mortality when they see Kobe go down in that helicopter. You know, they start questioning themselves when they see, you know, Virgil Abloh and, you know, people like that. But like at the end of the day, bro, they're human just like us. And I think that these situations are probably the most revealing of those things. Mm-hmm. So, man, I feel horrible for Justin, man, because he's a great performer. Mm-hmm. You know, he can sing his ass off, and I hope he makes 100% recovery because you don't want to see that kid like that. He's not even 30. How old is he, like 27?
He's 28.
28? Mm-hmm. Shit. That dude has been around for a long time, too.
Yeah. I think that's, even me, I catch myself sometimes, like, it doesn't make sense when Chadwick Boseman dies. It doesn't make sense when Uncle Phil dies. It doesn't make sense when Kobe dies in a helicopter accident. But yeah, we just kind of look at like celebrities, athletes as like larger than life, or like you know, like they are immortal. You know what I mean? But I just think these type of situations does kind of bring a certain level of reality to celebrities' lives, because you know they just kind of live in a way where everything is at their beck and call. You know, they make a lot of money, and they, you know, they're good looking people. They're super talented. They tour across the world. They release albums and movies and all these different things. But you know, there's reminders every now and then that these are regular human beings. And I think it's important too for us as fans to allow them to live life a little bit. Like, you know, there's people like you're saying that might be mad that the tour gets canceled, and, you know, telling him that he should sing with the other half of his face or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, you gotta, you know, I get it in a certain sense, because there's some person that may have only got a job, like a decent job this year, and you know they've been a fan of Justin Bieber, and the tours came to their city multiple times, and you know this is the first time they can afford it. But at the same time, like I just don't like that. Like I remember when Chadwick Boseman died, the first thing that was coming out of some people's mouths was like, "What about Black Panther 2?" Yeah, it's like, this man just died. Like, who cares about Black Panther?
On this next Black Panther, they could use CGI, bring him back from the grave. It's like, dude, come on.
Yeah, like, let's worry about that when the time is right. Like, let's grieve first, and, you know, let's, you know, send our condolences to his friends and family and stuff like that. But, yeah, I think it's also one, and this is like super weird. Like, if you see the video, he literally his face is just still on one side.
On one side.
Yeah. He couldn't even, like, when he was blinking, it was just one, like, his right eye or whatever. So it's crazy, man.
It's got to be traumatic for people who love him and see him like that. Mm-hmm. You know, I haven't heard of it. I'm gonna do a little more research on it, and hopefully he can make 100% recovery.
Yeah. It didn't. I don't know, the way he was talking about it. It didn't seem like it was going to last forever.
Yeah, he seemed really positive, but it doesn't matter, man. It's just, that's tough. Mm-hmm. That's gotta suck.
Yes, but you know, especially him. He's a performer, and his life is kind of centered around making music and stuff like that. You can't really sing if you can't. Part of you know, the way you sing is the way your mouth, like the shapes of your mouth.
Right.
And if half of your face is paralyzed, I don't really know how that's going to work.
Let me see here. Ramsay Hunt syndrome. Ramsay Hunt syndrome is a painful rash around the ear. Wow. Or on the ear, on the face, or on the mouth. It occurs when the varicella zoster virus infects the nerve in the head. Damn. What the fuck is that? That's wild, bro. Let's see. I heard of Bell's palsy before though. Is it known? Let me see. Compared to Bell's palsy, facial paralysis without rash, patients with Ramsay Hunt syndrome often have more severe paralysis at onset and are less likely to recover completely. Whoa. Bell's palsy, paralysis, rash. Patients with Ramsay Hunt syndrome often have more severe paralysis at onset and are less likely to recover completely. Damn. See, that's terrible to hear something like that, man.
Yeah.
What triggers Ramsay Hunt? It's caused by the Ramsay Hunt previously inactive, dormant. See, I can't even comprehend this shit.
There's a lot of big words.
Yeah, a lot of words that I don't want to butcher. Yeah. Send up a prayer for Justin, man. Anybody else dealing with this? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this shit is tough. This is the type of shit that makes people worried, not monkeypox.
Yeah.
You know, monkeypox could be cured. This shit is, I don't know. Yeah. You got anything else, man? I'm going to move on from this. All right, switching gears. Let's close this thing out. The importance of vulnerability in men. And I remember Keith had mentioned something about this last week. I feel like vulnerability is important in men because it allows us to be better leaders that way. I think that we can't lead a woman unless we're vulnerable, believe it or not. And what I mean by that is not vulnerable to the point, like vulnerability is a superpower. Just based on the fact that you're keeping people honest around you. Like just some of the shit that we even say on the podcast, being vulnerable enough to like understand that, yeah, you could be embarrassed by it or whatever. But truth be told, we know a lot of people go through this. Like earlier we were talking and I said something about falling in love with a girl that was basically being a hoe. It's happened to me more than once. I'm over here, falling in love with a chick that's not built for it. Is that embarrassing? Yes. But when you're vulnerable enough to admit these things, then it's okay, man, because there's somebody else listening to the podcast or probably going through it right now, and this can help them. This might be able to help somebody that's in love with a hoe or, a stripper like T-Pain. But, yeah, vulnerability is very important. But like I mentioned just a second ago, it keeps people honest around you. Because when that's the bar that you hold yourself, other people ain't got no choice. Because you can't shortchange me and I'm giving you everything. You should be vulnerable with me. But as a man, I have to lead in order for that to be a real thing.
Yeah.
Also, we talked about this a few times where I was at a funeral about 2 years ago and the dude was like, oh, man, I can't cry in front of my girl, bro. And I'm thinking like, bro, it's a funeral. And this dude said he can't cry.
That's the saddest thing.
Bro, if you crying, your girl should be the one grabbing you and hugging you, bro.
Rubbing your back.
Yeah, the lack of vulnerability to me is weakness. It's extreme weakness as a man when you don't even have it in you. It's some people like, man, I'm too much of a man. I can't cry, homie. I'm like a real man. No, you're not. You're a bitch. I'm sorry. If you are running with this thing, right? That, oh, man, I don't cry, or man, I can't cry, I can't show no love. You a bitch. You a whole bitch because you don't even have the balls to admit that you're human. Did you know when you cry, it's your body's natural reality to trauma? Did you know that? Your body is crying. You're crying because you're having a natural reaction.
Yeah.
And you too much of a bitch to cry. Think about that.
Yeah.
Now, you can say, oh, man, nah, Eddie tripping, man. He just a crybaby. Well, I'm more of a man than you are because I'll admit there are times where I just cry because of what's going on inside me.
Yeah.
I have a father that's dying of a terminal illness. My dad had stage 4 cancer. Sometimes I'm at work, I just cry. My grandfather passed away 2 years ago. Sometimes I just cry. There's people going through... Keith's uncle passed away, who I also had a relationship with, and he was a great dude.
My cousin just died last week.
Yeah,
on the day of his cousin's funeral.
Yeah. So Keith, and other men go through shit all the time, and to sit back and just be like, man, it's tough, but I'm a man. I don't cry. I got to be tough. It's like, dude, you're a bitch. I'm sorry. If you are too afraid of crying, bro, you going to die someday, homie. You're going to take all that grief and all that pain and all that bottled up emotion. You know what happens when you shake up a soda? You know how it swells up with carbonation?
Yeah.
This may not be the best analogy, but that's basically what you are. You are fucking loaded to the top, full of emotion that is just bottled up, dude.
Yeah.
You got to decompress. You have to decompress. You really don't have a choice. But if you're too much of a coward to do it, you're going to find out how badly that's going to affect your life.
No, man, it's 100%. I think I was trying to look for it right now, but my cousin had mentioned something, and I wish I was I remembered exactly what he said. But he was essentially saying, like, the reason why Winston Churchill was heralded as like one of the best leaders in the world is or in history was because of his vulnerability. And it was a specific quote that he shared with me that I just don't remember right now. But it's a superpower. I think it's easy not to like be vulnerable in situations, right? It's easy not to admit how you're feeling in certain situations because it makes you look cool. You know, if you're like, I had to admit to one of my friends that I was jealous of him because he got engaged. Do you know what I mean? And it's an uncomfortable situation to put yourself in because we always want to look cool. We always want to look like we got things together. But in reality, like, the real superpower is like it being able to admit those things, being able to, and what happens too is like I think, for the most part, most people have surface level relationships. You could spend the night at somebody's house. Y'all could play sports together for your whole life. Y'all could have been on the roustabouts together, then went to play high school football, and maybe you went on to college and played, and y'all still like kick it every now and then. He could go into the league, and y'all still like chop it up. Y'all got pictures on Instagram together. But until you can admit to your friend that you jealous of him for whatever reason, you don't have no real friendship. You know what I mean? Like, what happens is, like, a lot of times, like in terms of like relationships and friendships and stuff like that, it's just not, there's no level of vulnerability. Like, all we can communicate about is like sports or, team things going on in TMZ, the Breakfast Club interviews, whatever the case may be. Which is cool. Like, you could chop it up. But like, a lot of times, like, you got friends that just go through stuff on their own, and sometimes I've seen it in cases to where there is that type of like vulnerable relationship where like your friend is going through something and then, you'll be able to say, for example, like, a person is going through a trying time, like their parents died or something like that. Right. And then that friend is there to kind of like help them, in whatever way they can, whether that's showing up and bringing them food or hanging out with them and putting a smile on their face. Cool. But then sometimes that friend is not there during like the happy times. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even, so it goes both ways, right? Like, there's some people that be around for the sad part of your life because it makes them feel good to be able to help you out in some capacity. But say you got a new job, or you just started a new business, or you went off and did, I don't know, you got thousands of streams on your podcast or whatever the case may be, and they kind of know where to be found.
Yeah, it happens a lot because what happens is whenever you're doing bad and people are supporting you, then it more or less can mean, you know what, I'm here for you because I'm better than you right now. So yeah, let me remind you by not telling you, but let me just exist in your life.
I'm important.
I'm important to you. But when you become successful, it reminds me of the insecurities within myself. So I'd rather step away from you than exist in your world, because in your world, you're better than me now. And there are a lot of people like that. Yeah. There are a lot of people that will support you. It happens to all of them. Like Drake. When Drake first popped off, everybody loved Drake. Drake was getting love. They loved Drake. But when Drake hit that motherfucking second gear, people was off Drake. Oh, he sing too much. Oh, he gay. Oh, he too emotional. Oh, and it's like, bro, why? You don't have to like Drake or something like that. But at the same time, some of the shit people say is just based off of, maybe the attention they get. Who knows? I've been jealous of, in the past, I've been jealous of men for something that they couldn't control and it's not their fault. Like, it'll be a girl that I like and I'm non-existent to her, but that girl likes some dude that I know. And I'm watching the dude game her up and probably fuck her. And I'm just like, man, like, I like her. But truth be told, first of all, she doesn't have to like you. Second of all, that ain't got nothing to do with dude. He
didn't do. He just existing.
He just existing.
Yeah.
He just got the gift of gab. Not even the gift of gab. He just existing, and she liked him.
Yeah.
But it's nothing to get jealous about. Like, that's life.
Yeah.
Like that. If that's probably the most realistic, like, example of life.
Yeah. The crazy part is, like, those type of jealousy or those type of insecurities, like, oftentimes the person that is, you're speaking about or thinking about, or the one that's causing you to be jealous, is not even aware of the situation.
Not even aware.
Yeah.
Not even aware.
Living their life. They're not worried about what you got going on. And not in a bad way. They're just not even aware of, like, how you're feeling.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because they probably they don't even know how you feel about anything.
Yeah.
So it's like,
they can, so bad, and like they could probably talk to you about it. Like, hey man, I was just hollering at such and such. She gave me her number, not knowing on the inside you just feeling like I really like this girl.
Yeah, exactly. I've had situations where I was really feeling a chick or whatever, and then I run into some dude that I know but kind of don't know him. And then sometimes I don't know why we do this as men, but I've done it where I've talked like, oh man, are you familiar with like Wendy? Some girl named Wendy. Oh, Wendy. Oh yeah, I fucked her. I've had that happen a few times.
Yeah.
And you just like, damn, man.
Yeah. Dang. That's rough.
Y'all be like, oh yeah, bro. Like, are y'all talking or something? Like, as soon as a dude respond, like, are y'all talking? You be like, no, not really. I'm just, and the truth be told is you lying. Like, cause you don't want like people to know that you really are like liking this girl a lot. And he be like, oh, y'all ain't talking. Oh, yeah, but yeah, we used to fuck. I used to fuck her. Damn, man.
I wouldn't do that. The only time I would do that, like, the only time I've done something like that is one time my roommate in college, he was really feeling this girl that I was like, I just got a little bit of head.
Yeah.
But he was like really feeling her, and she was like hanging out at the apartment, and it was just so awkward. I just had to let him know, like, hey, like, we had a, not that we was dating or nothing, but I was like, we had a little thing going on, so, just be mindful of it. And he was not tripping at all. So I
probably would have never even told him, man.
Why not?
I don't know, man.
It's just,
that's something she needs to fucking tell him.
I don't think so. For me, like, if it's on my heart, I'm gonna tell you. And we friends. Like, it ain't like,
that's true.
It ain't like, I just don't want no awkwardness. And she probably wouldn't have told him just because, I don't know, whatever the case.
Yeah, so keep telling me you guys used to fuck, like, but that's not a big deal. I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm cool with it too. All right, let's go hang out.
Yeah, he seemed to not really care because it didn't change any of the way he was moving. I was like, I just had to let you know.
He was like, that's cool. I'm a cuck anyways.
Was the head good, dude? What? Damn, that's crazy.
Was Keith a good performer?
That's crazy. Yeah, but no, for sure. Like, I think overall, what happens with vulnerability, like, also keeps you alive.
Yeah.
Because I've heard of situations where someone didn't have anybody to talk to.
Yes.
And that may, in the trigger warning, that may lead to suicide. That may lead to people being in situations where, if they just talk to the right person or talk to more people, they would have had, more of an outlet to get, good advice or, opportunities to empower themselves through different means, whether that's a church or a podcast or therapy or whatever the case may be. But sometimes, like, we bottling stuff up is just, it can be deadly, man.
Yes.
And I think for me, what I've realized, like, is me having the ability to to be vulnerable with, just people around me.
Many things.
You don't realize how that it empowers people, just like even like the relationship with my mom has kind of grown a lot more now that I'm in my 30s. And it's partly just because like I'm more vulnerable,
The bumper on the Jeep was missing.
Yeah, man, it doesn't get more, and it's still missing right now. But yeah, like, just thinking about, like, for me, I started going to therapy last year, I think, or the year, I don't know how long it's been. But now maybe like 4 or 5 people in my family, maybe 6 people in my family have started going to therapy now. So, and it's literally just me saying like, hey, I go to therapy. And, just something that small, you realize like the kind of the trickle.
It's not just that,
effect.
though, because you got to be honest about something, Keith. I think that it's because of how your family or people view you. When you're a person that has some form, when you're a legitimate person, when you're a person who is not a bullshit human being, when you actually mean something and you have value to a lot of people, and then they see you doing something, that's the value, and that's why they done it. Had this been somebody else, even in the family, if this person has a history of not being very reliable or not being very consistent, then people are just going to wash over. Like people,
some people be in therapy, they still be terrible people.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really work. Like, hey, I'm in therapy, but I'm still cussing people out and bad parent and all this stuff.
Right. Not just that. I'm just saying people seeing you, and because you're a legit human being, that's what really influenced them. Yeah. I think that it's not really a matter of, I'm Keith, the son or the brother. I don't think that that's what it was. I think it's you as a human being. When people buy into you as a human being, they're more likely to follow up with something you're doing if they see value in you. You know how many parents love their children, but their kid ain't shit? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, that's what it is. It's just how it is across the board. But here's the thing. I don't want to conflate too many things. But in regards in this conversation of vulnerability, some people aren't vulnerable enough to admit, I don't got money like that. Yeah. There are people that will put themselves in debt and pay $1,000, $1,200 car payments just to look like they got money to fit in, because they can't be around people that they can't. Basically, they want to hang with a certain social ladder, and they rather be a social climber than be around people that are in their tax bracket, or actually be like, yo, I don't have the money to do that. Yeah, maybe someday I'll have the money to get that. But they are not honest with themselves or with others because they have a deep fear of that. And you know what's crazy too? And I'm not speaking on nobody, but there are people that drive way nicer cars than me and Keith and got less money than us. And I'm not judging nobody's pockets, but they're doing that because they cannot be honest with themselves, and they cannot be vulnerable enough with themselves, if that's a thing. Because if they was, they wouldn't be driving a 2022 Mercedes. Yeah. That they can't even afford to put fucking gas in. Yeah. Like, just as men, as a society, but as men, we got to be better. Yeah. Vulnerability allows us to be better leaders in our parenting, in our relationships, as a man, as a friend, in every facet. And some people will listen to me like, Eddie and Keith ain't got no kids. They don't know shit. Okay, motherfucker, you say that now. But when you go home and you fake it in front of your wife and you fake it in front of your kids, they can see you're full of shit. You would be a better leader if you actually were honest and vulnerable enough for them to see it. Because now they don't feel so bad about who they are, and they can be honest with you and the world. But you set a bad, like, you set what, like a false precedent. When you don't,
you always got it together.
Yeah, we always got it together. But on the backside of it, your kids see you struggling.
Some people can't even apologize. Like,
no,
you can't even say I'm sorry.
You can't say I'm sorry. Man, if I ever did somebody wrong, especially now, I'd be like, hey, man, I want to apologize to you. I hit up my cousin, I don't know how many years ago, at least probably 3 years ago, probably. And I wrote her because I wrote something that was pretty insensitive to the LGBT community. I said something. Basically, in a nutshell, I said, gay people make a choice to be gay. Now, this was no. I said this how many years ago? I said this about 7 or 8 years ago. I said this. I said, gay people make a choice to be gay, and something of that nature. And then, like, a little over 3 years ago, I just remembered that I said that, and I apologized to my cousin, and she was like taken back, like, "Wow, really?" She's like, "I deeply accept your apology." And I do remember you saying that, but I knew you wasn't a bad person. I said, that's not enough. I need to apologize and tell you that I'm sorry. Because my worldview has changed enough for me to understand that what I said was very insensitive to your situation.
Yeah.
And it takes a certain type of person. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but it takes a certain type of person to go back 7-8 years ago about something you said, and it just clicks in your mind, and you just go right to your cousin's DM and tell her, "Hey, I apologize for saying that."
Yeah, I just today my cousin's grandma had apologized to my mom for something that she had said over a year ago, maybe pre-pandemic.
Wow.
And basically she was just asking about my dad, but she didn't know that my parents were separated. And she was like, "Oh, she was in real time. She was like, I forgot. I've been wanting to come to church to see you, to tell you about, I apologize for making a joke about whatever the case may be." And that's the type of stuff that like really resonates with people, and it really like brings people closer.
It does.
You can apologize for something you did 7 years ago. You can apologize for something you did 2 years ago. That like, it's just a certain level of accountability that most people don't have. And when you do see those things and you hear those things, it's powerful.
And what you'll find is sometimes the people that you apologize to, they'll be like, "You know what? I do remember that. I never took it as a big deal because I knew your heart, but I deeply appreciate that apology." And it's some people where it's been on their heart for the whole time and it's been hurting them. And by you addressing that without them having to like coerce you into doing it, that really is going to lift the whole weight off their shoulders, man.
Yeah.
But it's some people that, here's the fucked up thing. There's some people that lack vulnerability so bad. They're like, "I don't give a fuck. I'm not apologizing for shit. I don't give a fuck about shit.
I don't regret nothing. I do everything.
I don't regret nothing."
Yeah, I stand on that.
But as soon as that funeral happened, "Man, I should have told him how I felt. I feel so terrible. I can't believe I didn't say nothing." You fucking punk. All you had to do was fucking apologize. That's all you had to do was apologize. But now you at the funeral crying like a moron because you didn't act when you should have acted. I'm going to challenge everybody on this podcast. If you got a family member, if you got an uncle, you got a cousin, you got a brother, you got a sister, somebody that you don't fuck with, that you don't like, and at one time you loved them, and you deep down in your heart you still got love for them right now, reach out to them and say, "Hey, I know we're not good. I just want to let you know that I always will love you. I have love in my heart for you. And anything that I have possibly done wrong, I apologize, and I hope you feel the same way. And if they don't fuck with you at that point, then fine. At least you tried." But some of y'all,
on your end, you're going to feel much better.
On your end, you're going to feel a lot better.
You tried.
Because it takes two to tango in most cases. And you done something that also contributed to the ill will in that situation. So you might want to do it, bro. Because going to a couple funerals in the last couple years has really, really reinforced the idea that life is a day-to-day fucking process, buddy.
Yeah, man.
It's a day-to-day process. You start losing people as you get older, you realize that that's the case. So you can keep on. That's the thing, man. I don't want to go down a fucking wormhole, but it's crazy to me how people be playing with life, man. It's just one big game to people. They think they can hold. I'm petty. I don't care. I'm petty. You want to hold a grudge and be petty, and then all of a sudden, the person you was petty towards dies, and now you got all this, "Oh my God, I feel." There was literally this girl that I seen on Facebook that was cracking jokes on her ex-boyfriend. Like cracking jokes on him, cracking fat jokes like, "I was too good for him anyways. I'm just done. I'm moving on with my life," and talking all this shit about her baby's daddy, right? Dude died probably like 8 months later, 5 months later, or something like that. And she was like, "I always loved you," and this and that. I'm like, well, you had a fucked up way of showing it.
Yeah, for sure. For me, I get right with everything in real life.
Yeah, man.
Like you're not going to catch me out here talking crazy about my dad or whomever, my mom in real time. and then when they pass away, it's something completely different. Like I love who I love, and it's gonna be that way on Earth, and and when people are gone as well.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's crazy, man.
Yep. Well, hopefully you guys took some away from that. We appreciate you guys, especially out there in Aurora, Colorado. You guys have been really showing some love here. Let's go ahead and let me run down a list real quick. Some of you guys are really fucking running it up, man. All right, let's see here. What we got here? Carson City, Nevada.
Shout out to Carson
Shout out to Carson City, showing us some lot of love. Shout out to Aurora, Colorado. Shout out to Austin, Texas. Obviously, Bakersfield, Pine Mountain Club, Los Angeles, Sacramento, Huntsville, West Valley City, Tallahassee, San Diego, Phoenix, Van Nuys, St. Paul, Richardson, Queens. Shout out to Queens, yo. Moncks Corner, South Carolina.
Nah, we ain't getting the listens in Charlemagne hometown.
Yep. Madison Heights. Shout out to Jacksonville. Shout out to Huntington Park. Shout out to Glendale. Shout out to Cambridge. Shout out to Arvin. And only a few out there. Only one in Amsterdam. Got some in London, Bay Hyde, and Vancouver. Dude, there's a whole lot. If you go, let's see here. If you go to the all-time list, Bakersfield is holding us down still more than everybody.
Yeah.
But, we got a lot of numbers other places. Bakersfield, L.A., Aurora, Colorado, Sacramento, Carson City, Glendale, Hattiesburg, Dallas, Brooklyn, San Diego, New Orleans, North Hollywood, Delano, Mountain View, Harlan, North Bergen, San Antonio, Las Cruces. Shout out to Las Cruces, New Mexico. Anaheim, Fresno, San Francisco, Pacoima, Chicago, Houston, Ashburn, Lake Stevens, Grapevine, Van Nuys, Kansas City, Pine Mountain Club, Valley Stream, Madisonville, Ontario, Reno, Denham Springs, Lancaster, Corona, New York, Fontana, North Hills, Minneapolis, Austin, Panorama City, Boston, Taft, Albuquerque, Seattle, Sherman Oaks, and the Bronx. People really starting to really starting to fuck with it for reals, man. We appreciate y'all. Had to shout out the had to personalize the shout outs instead of doing that. And make sure you guys tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's continue to move this fucking needle on this podcast. And let's start getting this thing ranked up with the top podcasts out here. Head on down to a Trucker's Mind podcast on YouTube. Subscribe, share, like, repost if you can.
Notification bell.
Hit that notification bell so you can hear us say crazy things on here. We appreciate you. If you made it to the end of this episode, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fangs.
We're out of here.
Peace.